Our Winter Carnival dance will be next Thursday, January 16th. Tickets go on sale today at noon in front of the library.
Tickets are $7 or $6 with a non-perishable food item for the food bank. Stay tuned for some video highlights from the last dance.
Can you blow my whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow. You just put your lips together and you come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby, whistle? Okay, now he was close, tried to domesticate you, but you're an animal, baby, it's in your nature. Just let me liberate you. You don't need no papers, that man is not your maker.
We have to talk about, I got an email from a concerned staff member about, it was brought on by the video announcement and talking about the dance, and I really think these concerns are valid, so I want to discuss them. So I think what we'll do is we'll talk about each one, have a discussion, and then we'll go from there. So the first concern was about inappropriate lyrics that are sexually explicit, racist in nature, and derogatory towards women. And when I did go back and look at the video clip again, I have to agree that it's something we need to consider. So when I think about it, who's choosing the dance music? You know, who's responsible for that? I think we have to talk about that. And we're going to have to stream that music, as I'm thinking.
Yeah, we can't just get a CD for the students and hit play and let it go anymore. I think it's going to be really looked at, especially now that we have students that are, so sensitive to what's being said in the music.
Yeah, it's a valid point. And I think that we probably should set up a meeting with Jonathan and see about, get the SRC involved and possibly talk to the tech crew as well, I'm thinking.
I know the SRC does choose the music, and often they'll put up a poster for students to, like a request kind of thing. But maybe they could be getting clean versions of songs and being a little more selective, so for sure we'll have to meet with them.
And you were talking about derogatory, can you elaborate on that?
Well, just derogatory towards women in general, and it was mostly in the rap music.
Okay.
That
so the
genre
dancing.
Music.
Okay.
And well, it's the dancing and the lyrics.
Okay.
It's just the suggestion, and that was the other issue that was brought up, was the our new style of dancing, which is the grinding.
Okay.
And it's sometimes being done, people are participants and they want to be, and then other times they're not wanting to be. So I think there are some things we need to talk about and look
I
at.
do agree, because I did have a female student come up to me at the dance very upset.
Okay.
And this is something that we do need to be dealing with now.
Okay.
I know supervising the dances sometimes in the confines of the space where we have the dance, it's very crowded, and it's difficult as a supervisor to get into the center of where students are dancing or really see into that spot too, and that's
Something to consider.
part of it for sure.
Okay. Now I do know that we have the SOCAN licensing, so it's not an issue of what we're playing. The issue is, I think that as an admin team, we're going to have to kind of step up and take some responsibility for looking at musical choices, talk to the SRC, and make it clear what's okay and what's not okay.
And somehow address the style of dance to let them know that grinding can't happen.
Yeah, what's appropriate and what's not. Okay.
So that would be our first concern.
That was the first concern, so we have some steps to take forward from here. Okay? Now, concern number 2, and this is something that, we have a protocol, but we also have staff coming in and out, and I'm not sure, when I think about it, does every staff member know the protocol on intoxication? When students come in intoxicated, what our protocol is as a school.
Right.
And whether or not this is true, because it was shared by students, but we have to treat it as if it is, that students are being sent home with friends to avoid them getting in trouble with their parents is something we cannot have happening.
And we do have a policy that does speak to that
Mhm.
directly, so
Mhm.
I do agree. I think we do
Yeah.
need to bring this to the staff's attention.
Yeah, and students' attention too, so they'll know what's going to happen to
I think it
them.
comes back to the high turnover that we've had this year,
Mhm.
and maybe people aren't comfortable maybe in that situation or with what to do, so really educate, a
Yeah,
good refresher for everybody,
yeah,
because everybody's involved with school-wide activities
yeah.
at some point in time.
And it's probably not just a dance issue.
No.
You know, we have other events here at the school too, and although we have a good screening, at the front door, you know, we can't be 100% sure students aren't getting in, so, okay.
And our third concern?
Yeah, the third one was the dress code. And, you know, we do a really good job of keeping the dress code valid during the school day. But I have noticed that when the students are coming to the dances, they're, you know, not wearing the same types of clothes they're wearing to school. And even, you know, we have some of the guys going shirtless. And I know that we're addressing that as it happens, but,
And I've noticed the spaghetti tops
yes.
and the bra straps showing,
Mhm.
so that is a concern.
And the height of the skirts and that
Yes.
kind of thing. And it comes back to that, you know, the point that we have school policies, and that was the point of this letter, that I received from a staff member, was we have school policies, why aren't they being followed at extracurricular events? So there are definitely things we have to think about. So how do we go with that one?
Well, I think again, we have policy that speaks to this directly, and we do have a school policy on it, and again, re-educating staff
Yeah.
and students.
We want everybody to feel comfortable at these events, whether it be the students or staff members that have to deal with these situations.
Mhm.
So, you know, the lack of following the dress code can put people in an awkward position.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think the flip side of that too is looking at it from the student point of view and saying, you know, there should be maybe a difference between what's expected during instructional and during extracurricular. So maybe we need to take a look at it and say, you know, this is the rules for this
Mhm.
space and time, but not let it be a free-for-all, which
Right.
is what it seems like it might be becoming.
We could also include the students in this. I think a student discussion, bring them in, and have them
Absolutely.
have a voice as well, and talk about why. And that can even, we can even do that with the musical choices, you know, if we listen, if, you know, we think about some of these songs.
And
what
I
they're saying.
do agree, but then again, I think one of our policies speaks
Oh,
to,
absolutely.
and
Yes.
I think we can
Yeah,
give them the sense of taking ownership of it, but yet we need to make sure that policy is being
Yeah.
followed.
and they understand why. And I
Exactly.
was thinking, if we bring students in, why are we doing this? It's
That's-
not just to be
Yes, to be
difficult.
told, that's
And
right.
it could end up being a teachable moment
Yeah.
for them.
Absolutely. Okay, so, you know, I am glad the staff member brought it forward. It is something that probably, you know, shouldn't have been allowed to get to this point in some ways. So I think a couple of things we'll do. We will meet with the SRC and the DJ. We will really kind of define the protocols for students that are intoxicated, share it with the staff as well as the student body. Once again, looking at the dress code and other school policies and saying that they are school policies, so they're adhered to during extracurricular activities. And then we will meet with the SRC. All of us will meet with the SRC and talk about these concerns, and I think that, like you said, a good teacher will know.
Mhm.
So is it fair to say that we have a staff meeting early next week, that this will
Yeah.
be presented at a staff meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay, and as an administrative team, if you need us to break into anything, any, you know, focus group, or if you want a little
Right.
bit more from staff, I
Okay.
think we'd all be willing to.
Okay?
Yeah, I think
Perfect.
showing that video again would be great.
Yeah, we'll start with that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we'll start with that. Okay.
Perfect,
Thank you.
Thank you.